Cold Hill was the kind of town where secrets, aged like fine wine deep, dark, and best kept in the cellar. 2 weeks before Eleanor Haynes was found dead, the whispers had already begun. A stranger had come into town. He never gave a name, just questions about the Haynes estate, about the ledger, about the past. They said Eleanor Haynes died in her sleep peacefully, but nothing about Cold Hill was ever peaceful. A storm had rolled in that night, loud, violent, like it knew something. The town didn't. At 3:12 a.m., the old bell outside her estate rang once no one rang it. No one ever did. And by sunrise she was gone. She was the richest woman in Cold Hill. Old money, old secrets. Her death wasn't the mystery. The real question was, what did she leave behind? And who wanted it buried? Detective Malcolm Reyes arrived before the sun touched the hill. No signs of struggle, no signs of theft. But the old woman's fingers were blackened with ink. And beside her bed, an empty drawer. Her lawyer, Mr. Langford, swore she had kept a personal ledger. One never filed, never shared. A list, he said, of people she paid and people she ruined. But the drawer was empty, and the only witness, her housemaid, had fled before police arrived. Her name was Clara Mendez, young, soft-spoken. She'd worked for Eleanor since she was 17, and she was gone. Neighbors said they saw her leave just before 4 a.m. No beds, just a coat and a scarf. By noon her phone was off and her apartment empty. But she wasn't running. She was hiding because she knew what that ledger contained. And she knew someone else wanted it more. Detective Reyes followed her trail to Cold Hill's oldest bank, a granite structure untouched since 1912. The manager hesitated. Yes, Eleanor had a private box. No, they couldn't open it without legal order. But a clerk slipped him a note. She came last Friday. She cried. She said it had to be sealed. Inside that box, if it could be opened, was the one thing that could collapse half the town, the ledger of Eleanor Haynes. Detective Miles stepped cautiously into Eleanor's attic. The floor creaked like old bones. Dust blanketed everything, except a small wooden box, recently disturbed. Inside was a brass key identical to the first, but etched with the number to another safe. Another secret? At Langston Accounting, Mr. Caro's hands trembled. She asked me to move large sums off books, said it was for the foundation, but it didn't feel right. What didn't feel right? Miles asked. There were names on the transfers, names of people who are dead. The detective stood before the gravestones, 3 of them, freshly visited. Flowers lay on each. The names matched the ledger. What was Eleanor doing with dead men's accounts? And why did someone try to erase the paper trail the same day she died? From the gas station across Eleanor's estate, an old tape showed a black SUV parked for minutes before her time of death. A tall man in gloves stepped out, but the camera lost him in the fog. Can you enhance this? Miles asked the tech. I can try, but you're not gonna like what I find. Eleanor's nurse, Clara, had vanished the night of the incident. Neighbors reported seeing her leave in haste, bags in hand before the ambulance even arrived. She knew something, Miles muttered, or someone warned her. The phone rang in Miles' office. An unfamiliar voice said, "Stop looking, you're opening a door you can't close." Then silence. The call traced back to a line disconnected since 2004. With both keys, Miles unlocked the safety deposit box. Inside, photographs, signed document, and a USB stick labeled, "Only if I'm gone." Eleanor had prepared for her death But from whom? The screen flickered as Miles opened the USB folder. A video played Eleanor, speaking directly to the camera. "If you're watching this, I was murdered and the man behind it owns half the city." Miles dug into Eleanor's files. One name kept appearing: Victor Halden, real estate tycoon, philanthropist. And in Eleanor's words, a devil in tailored suits. Every victim in the documents had crossed Victor. Everyone disappeared. Miles found Clara's old locker at the hospital, tucked behind her. Uniforms a note. He made her choose money or silence. Clara had run because she knew Eleanor was silenced for trying to expose him. Miles contacted an old journalist friend. They arranged a fake leak, a meeting to lure whoever wanted the files buried, but someone was already watching them. As Miles walked back to his car, a sleek motorcycle screeched around the corner. A gun raised. A single shot fired. Glass shattered. Blood on the windshield. The wrong target. The journalist lay still. They had escalated. The next morning, Miles found an envelope slid under his door. No address, no signature, just one USB and a note. "Eleanor trusted you. Don't fail her again." The USB contained a video, grainy footage. Eleanor sitting in a dark room, staring straight at the camera. She spoke of bribes, murders, forged death records. She named Victor Halden and others. "If you're watching this," she ended, "I'm already gone." Miles and the journalist's partner, Sarah, set up a command post. Their plan leaked the full footage, publicly exposed every name all at once. "No more backroom justice," Sarah whispered. "We light the whole thing on fire." Just before the upload, the building's power cut out. From the window, Miles saw a black SUV parked across the street. No plates, engine still running. He grabbed the drive. "Plane B," he muttered. "We go live from the station." Miles and Sarah raced through the rainy streets of Charleston, the black SUV, now in pursuit. "If they catch us before we upload this." Sarah didn't need him to finish. She hit the gas. They reached an old AM radio station once used for emergency broadcasts. Miles jammed the flash drive into a terminal while Sarah rebooted the transmitter. Outside, footsteps approached. Glass crunched. "Buy me 2 minutes," he whispered. The signal went live. Eleanor's confession echoed through airwaves and live streams. Millions watched. Names, documents, everything she hid now public. Across the city, phones buzzed, courtrooms froze. One of the men in the SUV punched his dashboard. By sunrise, Victor Halden was in handcuffs. Other names followed: judges, CEOs, a senator. Miles stood silently as Sarah handed the press a final folder. "This one's for Eleanor," she said. "The city would never be the same again." Miles flipped through the stolen USB files, each document more damning than the last. "This is bigger than corporate fraud," he whispered. "This is government level." Sarah's face paled. "We need to get this out now, before they erase us too." Just then their burner phone lit up. A known caller. Sarah answered. A distorted voice spoke. "You're playing a dangerous game. Walk away or be silenced." Then click. Miles stared at her. "They know we have it." She nodded slowly. "Then we finish this tonight." They packed everything. In seconds, laptop, flash drives, a backup battery. Outside, the rain had started again. "We go to the broadcast station," Sarah said. Miles hesitated. "That'll make us targets." "We're already targets." As they pulled onto the street, a black SUV turned the corner. Behind them, no headlights, no sound. Miles I see it. Sarah floored the gas pedal. The chase had begun. The sedan skidded around a corner, barely missing a street lamp. Upload it to the cloud. Miles shouted, clutching the flash drive. Sarah gritted her teeth. They'll trace the IP. We need a dead zone. Behind them, the SUV surged forward, closer now. Too close. The chase led into the old dockyards abandoned, dark with only the sound of crashing waves. Sarah killed the headlights. They rolled in silence, breathing heavy. Athena drones pour overhead. Miles whispered, "They've upgraded." Sarah climbed atop a container, laptop in hand. There's a signal, weak but usable. Lulu Miles watched the SUV park at the dock's edge. Dalton, she said, "I'll upload everything." Miles ran into the open, arms raised. The upload bar crawled forward 23%, 42%. From below, yelling, footsteps, a gunshot. No. Sarah screamed, 89%, 94%. Come on, come on. Then, upload complete. Miles slammed the brakes as the sedan skidded into an alley. The SUV overshot the turn, just enough time. "We ditched the car here," he said. Sarah grabbed the hard drive. "We run the rest on foot." Rain pelted them as they disappeared into the shadows. They ran through dark back streets, dodging dumpsters and puddles. A siren wailed somewhere distant. Sarah's breath hitched, almost there the broadcast. Towers ahead. Suddenly, a beam of light. "Down!" Miles shouted as a sniper round shattered a brick wall. Inches from them, they ducked behind a dumpster, soaked and shaking. "Snipers on the roof," Miles whispered. Sarah looked at the drive. No more running. She pulled out her phone, using a hidden app, uploading to 4 news outlets now. Progress bar, 17%, 42%. Sarah whispered, "Keep me covered." Miles peeked from cover, tossing a broken bottle to distract the sniper. The bullet missed. 93%, 100%. "It's done," Sarah breathed. "The world knows now." The SUV returned this time, with backup. Dark-suited agents spread through the alley, weapons drawn. Miles raised his hands, but Sarah stepped forward, holding the phone high. "Too late," she shouted. "This is already on every Imago, our news site." For a moment, silence, then radios crackled in unison. "Stand down," came a voice from HQ. The agents froze. Some lowered their weapons. The leaks verified. The voice continued. "We're exposed." Across the world, news anchors interrupted. Broadcast. Breaking news out of Charleston, the largest domestic surveillance program ever exposed. Sarah's phone buzzed. Messages, alerts, calls. The truth had gone viral. A week later, Senate hearings, mass resignations, protests in every major city. Miles and Sarah watched from a safe house. "They'll come for us," Miles said. Sarah smiled faintly. "Let them. We gave people the truth." The storm had passed for now. The agency was dismantled. Names were exposed, but new agencies rose from its ashes. More secretive, better hidden. Miles and Sarah faded into anonymity, yet their story became legend whispered in cafes, classrooms, war rooms. A reminder even truth has a price and someone always wants to bury it.